First time I heard about Mpenzi wa Kwanza, I almost fell for you. But then I noticed you were hurting. Are children hurting in these homes?
Definitely children are hurting. It's just that they don't talk about it because we live in a society that discourages children from speaking in the midst of adults. Yeah, so we have very many hurting children.
Give me if I sound off, but a lot of children that are hurting, they are coming from broken homes and parents that decide they don't want to take care of their creations and all that. How do you then intend to inculcate parents with these projects that you're coming up with?
Obviously, we have to have consent from the parents, obviously.
You are watching TheArtsinHeart, your home of authentic conversations.
Good evening, welcome to TheArtsinHeart. My name is Lekuyani Eli and it's Friday, so I'm looking all cool. But for now, to the lady.
Yeah.
The one that akona spotlight yote. Hizo zako ni kubwa.
Zangu ni kubwa sana.
Ni za kufanya usanii ama?
Ni usanii. Kujificha.
Ruby Ninah with me tonight, and kindly introduce yourself.
So my name is Ruby Ninah and I am a jazz and R&B singer, and I'm also very passionate about children. And that's what I think we're talking about today, right?
Well, I wanted the music, but since you brought out children, let me just ask you, how many do you have?
I have none yet.
So yes. Boys have not been working hard?
Probably
you are
there.
Not the one?
Probably there. Yeah.
So Ruby, you say you are passionate about children. Why? Yeah. And what are you doing with that? What project is it all about? So
currently I'm running a project that is enabling me to bring children from all walks of life in a program that's mentorship. So creating both a mentorship program and music together, just to be able to safeguard the well-being of children before they become adults. Yeah. And you say all children because most of the time when we have projects that are running, especially with ladies, it's about girl power empowerment. Is this what is it about? I mean, currently, of course, it's encompassing all the children, both boys and girls, because they both have a future. Yeah. That's why. And so how exactly are you doing this exercise? Is it through music? Is it through what exactly are you doing with them? So obviously music is the first thing that is the core thing. Music is what's supposed to bring all of us together in terms of the children and the mentors that I'm trying to bring on board. So the whole idea is just to create like a small band, like for different age groups, just to teach them a little bit about music and how music is done, and then as well as add mentorship in that. So we're still in the creation process, looking at what that would look like. Yeah, that's kind of where we are at right now. So if I look at the creation process, I mean, there must be something that instigated your idea of having children and mentorship program. Yeah. Is it something personal, or it's just because life has become what it is? I mean, when you look at everyone around you, everyone in terms of every adult around you, they were once a child. So we have a lot of adults that are walking around as broken children. So I sat down and I was like, I mean, if some of the things I know now, if I had been equipped as a child, we would have avoided so many instances and issues in my life. So I thought, I can do that now with my nieces, my nephews. I can do that with children that I know from the neighborhood, and then, of course, extend it to a larger group. Yeah, so that's what really pushed me to go that direction. Okay, so assuming you are the young Ruby that you were, let's say 20 years ago, because I heard you are celebrating your birthday soon. Yes. We'll find that later. But 20 years ago, are you the same Ruby that you want to pass over to these young people, or what Ruby do you want to mentor these children with? I mean, 20 years ago, of course, I was not the same Ruby that I am right now. I have so much, there's of course education, insight in life. But one of the things that really inspired me is a song by Whitney Houston that says the greatest love of all. She talks about the children being the future, So one of the things that I really want to instill in these children is in understanding who they are and what they contribute to the world in general. Yeah, that's the direction. Awesome. You have children, and those ones who have croaky voice like mine.
Ruby will be dealing with them. But for now, let's get Mpenzi wa Kwanza, and then we come back and find out more about her project. We'll be back in a moment.
Yule dema limpora kwa tamaa ya maisha bora, akijiuliza mbona alimwacha yule aliyempenda, kwa madai eti yeye ni mshamba. Huku Nairobi anasakanya, mashida za muandama, analia eti heri mpenzi wa kwanza, heri mpenzi wa kwanza, heri mpenzi wa.
And welcome back. Of course, I'm hanging out with one Ruby, Ninah. Ruby.
Yes.
The first time I heard about Mpenzi wa Kwanza, I almost fell for you. But then I noticed you were hurting. Are children hurting in these homes?
Definitely children are hurting. It's just that they don't talk about it because we live in a society that discourages children from speaking in the midst of adults. Yeah, so we have very many hurting children.
And
very many hurting
what could
children.
be the cause of broken homes? Because over time, and forgive me if I sound off, but a lot of children that are hurting, they are coming from broken homes and, you know, parents that decide they don't want to take care of their creations and all that.
Yeah.
How do you then intend to inculcate parents with these projects that you're coming up with?
Obviously, we have to have consent from the parents. Obviously. I mean, we're living in a fast-paced world. That's what's different. We have parents who are really working hard to ensure that their children are taken care of and the basic needs are met. So when you come up with a solution for a parent, most parents would not disagree with this kind of a project because, I mean, they are out there looking for a livelihood for their children. So it's important, of course, to have the parents on board. And that's one of the conversations I've been having with some of the students that I have taught, their parents, and they're like, they would want to be on board with that. And of course, it's just by spreading the word from one parent to another, because it's also a matter of trust.
Trust.
Yeah, because you can turn it around and actually just destroy a child.
Exactly, because Ruby, you know, we're struggling, as you said, with broken children.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I noticed, and I've heard a lot of stories from ladies and men of age, that most of these people lost their innocence to people that they were entrusted with them.
Yes.
How do you address this?
I mean, everything that we do is a risk on earth. It's just based on trust. It's based on trust. It's based on word of mouth, good intentions. I mean, you can always know a person if you hang around them for quite a while. So what I intend to do, first of all, is to start with the ones that I've already built that trust with. So of course, if Mama so-and-so sees their child is going for this particular thing, or their child's friend is going for this particular thing, then that can encourage them, because we don't also want to apply pressure and be like, bring your children. There has to be a level of trust. So that's how I intend to go about it. Start with the ones that I have, and then I'll proceed.
So what's your target in terms of numbers? Are you looking at 2 children or?
So for now, I'm looking at 10 children. So 5 girls and 5 boys. Yes.
It's not a hookup, I hope.
No.
Okay. So when the boys and the girls come, take me through what they will have to do during that, let's say, camp, if I call it.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, bringing in the boy child, I am in conversations with also older men who can be able to take that role best than I ever would. So, like I had just explained earlier on, that we are still in that process where we're creating. We're trying to find out what do we want to teach? What do we want to inculcate? Of course, we're starting with music as our core. We're teaching the most basics. I mean, melodies, harmonies, styles, and stuff like that. But we're still at that place where we're trying to figure out what exactly is ailing the children at this particular age. What is ailing this girl child? What is ailing this boy child? Then we can be able to curate something out of that. So right now, I may not give you a proper itinerary for what we intend to do, but that's
also a secret of trade. You don't want to let it out.
You know, you're clever.
I'm too smart for my age. Ruby, Ninah, is there some fees involved in this? Let's say I have a parent who was young. What age group again?
We're looking at about from age 5. 5 is good, from age 5 to 12.
Age 5 to 12. Yes. I have a 5-year-old.
Yes.
I want to bring into the program of mentorship that you're doing.
Yes.
How much should I budget for? Ama hii ni mambo ya Mother Teresa?
Mother Teresa had kidogo, but
Economics are
I will
tough.
be able to come back with an answer for that, and I will give it to you, and I'm sure you can be able to share with your...
Are people supposed to register or...
Yes, definitely. There will be a registration for that, just for accountability sake,
Yeah.
purposes like that. But we're still in the pipelines.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
awesome. So as she does this stuff in the pipeline, I'm asking you, do you have a child that you believe has great skills that can be sharpened to become better? This here, Ruby, she's got something hot for you. We come back, and as we conclude the story, tatuambia kitu.
Yes.
Mbona uko na sauti mzuri? In a moment.
Like there's one I've been getting 64 shillings from January. 64 shillings every month.
Na unapanga kupiga movies na
Because now they expect nitoke, niende kwa makanisa, niende wapi niuze hiyo skiza ya skiza. Ndio hizo royalties zikuje wachukue their share, then they give me mine.
You are watching TheArtsinHeart, your home of authentic conversations.
And indeed, you're watching TheArtsinHeart, your home of authentic conversations, and that's what I'm having with Ruby. Ruby, maybe the first thing that made me fall in love with you as a person is the fact that you have such a great, rich voice. Vocals zako ni zile zenye Yesu alikuwa anaimbiwa na mbinguni. Out of the box, do something. Give me a good rendition of what you feel you can do freestyle. Kalaini too.
You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Oh.
Kwa sababu mimi niko hapa. Mimi niko hapa. You want to do that with this guy because I see he has no work to do.
I mean, we'll try.
Don't try. You know what? We have everything, so Mwema, get over here. Let's do this.
All right.
Okay.
Listen. My baby, my Valentine, yo. Girl, you they making my temperature they rise. If you leave me, I go die. I swear, you are like the oxygen I need to survive. I'll be honest. Your loving don't me. I am so obsessed. I want to chop your copy cool. Your body they walk me see hule. Open and make I see hule. Give me level 1 TT. Can you make a bad man sing? Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building up castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you made me do for love what I wouldn't do.
Hey, Ruby.
Yes.
That's you.
That's me. That's all.
Your mother's daughter.
Yes.
So, Ruby.
Yeah.
What piece of advice do you have for parents ambao wanatelekeza watoto wao? I know Swahili is not your friend.
What is telekeza?
Those ones that, you know, they do not take their responsibility, parenting responsibility. What would you say to them? What are they doing to that small angel?
You know, one thing I know, I can speak as, I'm not a mother, but I can speak as having been a child once. And what I would have wanted then or even just from my peers who talk about their childhood and stuff like that. I think to the parents, I would say we need to be more and more intentional. More intentional, not in raising these children the way we know how we were raised, but getting to know them first of all. Getting to know what appeals to this child, what doesn't this child like, and just looking out for situations where your child can be open with you and tell you. Because unfortunately, there's something you mentioned about children's innocence being taken at a particular age, and the reasons why we have things like this that keep recurring is because every child you ask says, I couldn't tell my mom, because we don't have that open communication. We don't have that channel where we can talk and say, this is what is happening in my life. So it's very important for parents to just to be able to open that channel between their children, because it's in speaking about things that are happening in the child's life that you can curb some of those effects before they get to being adults.
Sure.
So that is one of the things that I'm very passionate when I'm talking to even the parents of the children that I usually teach vocals and music and stuff like that. Just allow your child to tell you things. Don't be so quick to telling them, no, I'm an adult. You're not supposed to talk about things like that. Because if they feel safe with you,
definitely they'll
who can
open
take
up.
advantage? Yeah.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we do it right here on Art in Heart. And Ruby, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Nimefurahi sana kuona mwaka mpya.
Asante.
Ni mambo ya kuonania kwa Facebook na
Kwa
hivi
Facebook,
tuache
social
tabia
media,
mbaya.
tumeacha.
Niko na visa.
Uko nayo?
Are you willing to travel?
I'm coming through.
Travel the world.
Let's do it.
I'll let me hear your voice. Until next time, my name is Likuyani Eli, and of course the beautiful Ruby Ninah on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. That is Ruby Ninah. Powerhouse. Get to subscribe, listen to her music, and of course, you know what to do. See you next week. Wambie kwaheri.
Kwaheri, people.
Good night.
Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building big castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I.